Let me share my screen.
Please.
Share screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen? PowerPoint mode?
Yes, sir.
Let me do the PowerPoint. Okay, so you can hear me, it's in PowerPoint. Okay, so let me start. Okay, so today the topic will be on the right data, right place, right time, right person. Okay. Okay, the agenda today will be on what is data ops and Lumada data ops suite and the success stories. So what is data ops? I think most people have heard about like DevOps. DevOps where in terms of the development applications from the development, coding, testing, and the deployment to make it more streamlined. So data ops is very similar to, is the alignment of people, process, and technology to enable more agile, automate approach to the enterprise data management in service of the business needs. So if we look, where does this come from? In the Gartner hype cycle for data management back in 2018, if you notice, data ops is up and coming. So for Hitachi Vantara, Lumada Data Ops Suite, the intelligent data management for digital innovation, we see it in three key points: analytics, governance, and operational agility. And Lumada is Hitachi for illuminating the data. So under Lumada, we have a suite of solutions and services and products to bring the insights of the data to the customer. So data ops is technological and cultural change to improve an organization's use of data through better collaboration and automation. Customers were able to realize the outcome faster with new business models and revenue streams, customer services, and operational improvements through data trust, data protection, shorter cycle for insight delivery, and most important, cost-effective data management. So if we look at Lumada, it drives outcomes from the data ops perspective. So at the bottom, you have the data ops for agility, how we can onboard any type of data, structured, unstructured, optimize for cost and performance, and the agility for you to move data from on-premise to cloud and back. And the second layer, data ops for governance, how we prepare, validate, and enrich data. How do we protect sensitive data, GDPR, PDPA, and how can we discover the structured data and also unstructured data like video, images, audio. And at the top, with the data being protected, it's time to analyze data. So we provide democratization of data, allowing self-service data access for everyone, build, deploy, train, test, and tune, advanced analytics and machine learning, and most important with today, anywhere technology, embed it into our business process to be viewed from anywhere. So the bottom line, we are able to help to reduce data costs, reduce compliance violation, automate data management tasks, and optimize data infrastructure. And the top line, we help to accelerate data-driven business outcomes, become a data-driven enterprise, and ensure data quality and trust of the data. So if we look at it from the business layer view, at the bottom is the foundation layer. This will be your server, storage, compute to manage to support the data processing. It can be on-premise, could be your data lake, it could be your cloud. And the second layer is how we bring the data in, transform, how we catalog the data, protect the data to deliver the data in a self-service manner, the data layer. And at the top, with all this in place, how can we monetize, make money from the data, provide end users and analysts to explore, visualize, report for data scientists to build and deploy automatically their AI and ML, and application developers to build smart apps and processes. So if you convert this to our Hitachi Vantara solution, what we have is at the infrastructure level, we have block storage, we have big data storage, we also have object storage and compute for all sort of hot data, warm data, and static data. And at the next level, at the transform and deliver, we have the Lumada solution stack, which we will go in depth into to talk about the Lumada data integration and edge intelligence for structured and unstructured data. And at the visualization part at the top, we have the Lumada analytics and the Lumada data catalog. So as you see, graph, chart, business taxonomy, governance, to make it easier for the business users to get the insights that they want. If you look at it from a portfolio perspective, the architecture view, from the left, we have the IT sources. It can be from your traditional databases. It can be from the modern Hadoop Hadoop sources or MPP databases, or even from social media, Facebook, Twitter. You can also ingest data from like logs, email, and in the OT, operational technology sources like LiDAR, PLC, video, audio, image. So the IT sources and OT sources can be ingested easily using the data integration and the analytics and the edge intelligence part. So the data integration, Pentaho data integration and Pentaho business analytics, this has the drag and drop capabilities to bring the data in without any much coding. And the edge intelligence, very similar to the Pentaho data integration. What it does, it has the connectors to all the MQTT, to all the Modbus, to all the OT sources kind of protocol. Once the data is in and analyzed, you have the data catalog here to help to find and catalog your data for ease. And we have the data optimizer, which helps to reduce the storage in your Hadoop as your Hadoop size grows. So with the Lumada stack array ready, we have the solution use cases to support the customer. So ranging from operational analytics to customer 360, to GDPR compliance, PDPA, to predictive maintenance, cost optimization. And you can see this is an edge to cloud data fabric. We can have this deployed on-premise, on cloud, and we support in the major cloud like AWS, Azure, and GCP. So let's go a bit in depth into the components that we mentioned. Okay, first we'll go into the data integration and analytics part. So you see the word Pentaho. So Pentaho has been around since 2004, and it was acquired by Hitachi Vantara in 2015, and it will be part of the Lumada solution stack for data integration and analytics. It's an end-to-end data integration analytics tool. So with a single installation, you can have data integration, you can have data science, and you have business intelligence and analytics. So the highlight for data onboarding and preparations is all totally drag and drop. We have over 100 plus connectors, transformations, data cleansing steps, data science steps. So for you to bring the data in to do cleansing, even if some of the data steps are not available, we accept any JDBC's connector too. So for example, a customer wanted to get Presto DB in. So they just need to put in the JDBC and their users could easily get the data in from Presto database. Second, data self-service to democratize access. We do not charge by per user. Everybody in the organization, even the business users, can have access to the self-service. They can play with the data, drill with the data, find insights. We also have the data pipeline orchestration, where we can orchestrate the different transformation for different sequence or for different if statement. And we have the analytics and machine learning model. We have about 100 plus machine learning models ranging from random forest, linear regression, convolutional neural network. So it saves the data scientist time to just focus on the parameters, the feature engineering, rather than writing the code for the machine learning. And of course, for analytics, we have the pie graph chart map readily available. And similarly for analytics, you just need to create it via drag and drop for the reports, for the analytics, for the dashboards. So why Hitachi Vantara? Well, no code, low code pipeline delivery. As mentioned, you can do all the data onboarding, self-service, orchestration without any coding. We take in all data types, data styles, and data source. And it's full stack, end to end, from the data integration to analytics. And we run anywhere. It can be on the edge, it could be in the data center on premise, or it can even on cloud. And we are open source heritage. And even today, you could still download Pentaho for use for free from the web. So some of reference, Marketo. Marketo is quite famous in terms of marketing part. They embedded Pentaho into their solution. So today, if you are using Marketo, you are using Pentaho. And Loma Linda University Healthcare, they help us provide better 360 for their thousands of patients each year. And with O Power, they create a new model for them to provide customer 360 insight. Next, we go into data catalog. So data catalog comes with the problem of how can we find data and how we can secure data. In a Forster report, it mentioned that analysts spend over 60% of their time finding data. So this amount of time is kind of wasted. They should spend the 60% more of their time analyzing their data. And the second part is on protecting the data. Organizations has been fined millions of dollars to protect the data from GDPR, PDPA compliance that the government has enforced on them. But there are challenges for the business users and for the data stewards to search the data and govern the data. So how can Lumada Data Catalog help them? Number one, data discovery for analytics. If you want to find data in your organizations, you might need to know who to ask, or you might need to find a social engineer, data engineer to get your data. Is there a portal where you can allow, like Amazon, you go there to find the data that you want, like I want marketing data, and you type it in, and the solution will able to find all the data that's related to marketing. So data discovery for analytics will be much easier. Everyone can get the data. And second part, sensitive data management for risk reduction. Though everyone can have access to the data, it's not free for all. HR folks maybe can access the HR data. Financial staff can only access the finance data. So we still need to ring fence the data to make sure the correct person can have access to the data only. Third, active metadata for agility. So new data coming in, you can manually automatically tag to it, change the business taxonomy. New data coming in using Spark technology, we can fast do the metadata tagging. And so the agility for incoming data or change to metadata is there. We also have the infer data lineage for governance. So this is like if you have the citizen's information or the citizen's number, and you want to find where are all this information hiding in your data lake or in your database, we can have this infer data lineage to find all this sensitive information, to ring fence them, to protect them. So why Lumada Data Catalog? Is a patented data fingerprint technology. We use about 100 features of a single column, for example, credit card numbers, to create this unique fingerprint, so that we can use this fingerprint to find all the similar information, similar credit card information in your whole enterprise. And we can use that to provide as an audit report to the government to show that how we can protect our data. And also automated tagging at scale. So once you find the, for example, credit card information, you can tag it automatically. And we also have the role-based UI for collaboration. So we have the business users who use the information, find the data. We have the data owner, the data stewards, who can tag the correct tagging, the business, and also they can add more information, metadata in. And of course, we have the administrators who runs the job to do the fingerprinting and automatic tagging at scale. And comprehensive open API. So every single function Every single click that you see in the solution is accessible by Open API, REST API. So this enable organizations, if they do have their own portal and they want to incorporate this tagging function, search function into the existing portal, it can be done easily with this Open API. So one of customers, the providing analysis access across our organizations, we have access to the right data at the right time is crucial how we do business. By ensuring this, enable with appropriate data governance remains a top priority. So number one, helping them find the data. And second, we need to govern. We do not want anybody and everybody to access all the data. So if we look at it from an architecture perspective, similarly, on the left-hand side, we have the data coming from the data lake, data warehouse, or even you can integrate with other catalogs. Okay, so data comes in, you will do profiling to understand how the data is, what is the metadata, what is format, and at the top, you can see the external glossaries. So your existing glossaries from your organization, you can import it in. Of course, it comes along with its own default glossaries. Once it comes in, the magic happens in the red part. There is the machine learning engine. We are using a classification method whereby we will create the fingerprint. After that, we will tag it, create the lineage so as to link those infer lineage. And we will have the join root and join discovery and additional rules if needed to. So you see there's this line, the ML supervision on top. So usually machine learning models, you need to keep training them with new data sets, and from then they become more accurate. So in this way, this ML supervision is totally done by the data steward. There's no need any complex coding. They just need to approve the tagging done by the artificial intelligence, whether it is right or wrong. With this supervision training, the artificial intelligence becomes more intelligent, the accuracy increase. So this machine learning of train, test, deploy, and tuning is all done via web-based. And then you have the users at the far right, which access the data, search the data within their own rights to do their necessary business analysis. And at the bottom right, we have the API for the relevant custom integration that you require for your existing applications. Okay, next we come to the edge intelligence. So edge intelligence very similar to Pentaho, but its focus is more on the OT sources and the edge assets. So the Lumada Edge Intelligence, actionable real-time insights. So what it does is you are trying to bring the OT, operational technology, information technology data at the edge. There are many benefits to that. Of course, more responsive and save money instead of like transmitting all your data and information back to the cloud for processing. So faster response time at the operating side. You have some rules at the edge devices. Maybe if beyond certain temperature, you want to stop the machine. So it will be much fast response time. And it allows streaming data analysis for sensor data, video data, and audio data. So why Hitachi Vantara? We are compatible with major industrial systems. It is container-based for simple and secure software updates. So this container-based and the next microservices architecture is quite important. For one of our customers, they like these 2 points because, for example, if your edge, you have many sensors and you just want to increase the number of sensors to ingest all this data. But however, your main processing portion for the machine learning, you do not need to increase it because you are just having more edge. So this microservice architecture allows the customer to scale up depending on which part of the architecture that they need. Example, if they are edge, they have many, they can just scale it up and they do not need to scale up the main AI machine learning component. So this allows them to do the necessary expansion and not the whole solution as is. It is hardware agnostic. It can sit on Hitachi hardware. It can also sit on any hardware available. And we have qualified hardware available that is tested. And Hitachi, as you know, has deep expertise in manufacturing, and energy and transportation, which we bring in to make the product more efficient, effective. So we have a customer, Precision Drilling. They are quite a big oil drilling company in Canada. For them, they incorporate the use of LiDAR, video, the drill sensor, the drill bits to make decisions and able to consistently execute on this learning and the models that they train to improve their drilling efficiency and the safety. Okay. Last but not least, we go into the data optimizer. So Hadoop has been around for almost maybe 15 plus years. So what this Lumina Data Optimizer does, you want to help to reduce costs for the Hadoop, where Hadoop size grows. So as you know, Hadoop itself, for a single node, you have the compute and you have the storage. So the challenges happen is when you start to grow your Hadoop because you have more data in your organization. So as you start to grow your Hadoop nodes, you realize that the compute of your growth Hadoop node is not being used because you're just using it for storage. So what this optimizer does is that instead of buying new Hadoop nodes, which has compute and storage, you're going to use this optimizer to just move your storage to a new S3 object store. And there's no need to buy the additional compute. So with this in place, it helps to reduce significant much of cost. Okay, we are leveraging on the existing capabilities of HDFS Hadoop. There's nothing new. So number one, intelligent HDFS data tiering with active metadata. So in HDFS Hadoop file system, you can tier your data on cold, warm, or hot. So this optimizer also leverage on this tiering to move the data. And usage and business-driven policies. So maybe your cold data, you want to move them out to the optimizer, to the S3 object storage. And based on the policies, you can execute that. And no impact to business application. Point number 3 is very important. Okay, so like today, if you have your information in your laptop and you want to do a backup to your hard disk, external hard disk, you can do that. But then if you have existing, let's say your Excel or your Microsoft Office or some programs that wants to read this data, you'll find the data is not found error. So this is same case if you are using Hadoop today and you use the offload function, which is the S3A, Hadoop S3A, you can still offload it to somewhere else. But the problem of your existing business application will not be able to access the new S3A object location. So one, your existing business application will be impacted. You will need to update them. Where do you offload them to? And the second key point is the security. When you offload your Hadoop data to another location, the new location has no security. If your existing data is only accessed by the data scientist, now it moves to the new location offload, you need to reassign the security. So with this optimizer, both these two issues is automatically resolved. The security is inherited into the S3 object storage, and the link is still there. And easy deployment for fast ROI is just installing the Lumina Data Optimizer on every single data node and having a object S3 storage, which is the Hitachi content platform. So why Hitachi Vantara for this Lumina Data Optimizer is S3 standard compliance. So if you need to move to other S3 object, it's still compliable. And optimized for HCP, Hitachi Content Platform. So Hitachi Content Platform is the one of the foundation layer for the object storage. So object storage can store anything in, and Hitachi Content Platform is 100% reliable, meaning that we guarantee the availability of your data 100%. And you do not need to have experienced Hadoop guys to do this, because we are already programming it. You will use the data tiering, the mover function, and the fuse function to move the data to the new object storage there. So we have a financial service firm, global firm. They projected 30 million projected saving over 5 years for 24 petabyte on-premise data lake. So if your current existing environment has or plan or beyond 1 petabyte, do consider this optimizer solution so as to reduce your growth and still able to access the data that you need for your programs and for your analytics. Okay, so let's look at it, the whole together, the different architectures, the different solutions. So on the left, you have the data that's coming in. It can be text, web, geolocation information, social media, Facebook, Twitter, customer information, financial information. It can even be unstructured data, like from camera, images, assets, metadata, time series, historical data. We first bring it in. So for the traditional data, non-IoT, you can use Pentaho data integration or the Lumada data integration to bring it in. And for your IoT devices, you can use the Lumada Edge Intelligence to bring the data in. Next, once it goes in, goes to the system of insight where you have your data lake. So our data lake can be of any of the Hadoop flavor, or you can even use some of the MPP, massive parallel processing, to store. You can break it up into 3, the raw, the curated, and the published zone. So all the data will first land in the raw zone, and in the curated zone, you can do the cleansing, blending, again using Pentaho data integration. And lastly, at the published zone is where you're ready the data to be consumed with the right governance. So with that, you can also have the Hadoop cluster for processing or object storage to store your data, to create the data mart, data warehouse, and the data catalog in place so that you can govern, ring fence your data for the correct use. So we talk of so many solutions, it's kind of like, wow, it's might be a bit challenging. So what up and coming and exciting is that all the solutions that you see will be all web-based, meaning that there's no need for any more thick client installation, and everything will be on the web, on cloud. So we have this Data Flow Studio, which will encompass the Pentaho, the Edge Intelligence, Data Catalog, and Optimizer. So a single web browser flow pane for the data engineers, the data scientists, the business users, the operations, everyone in a single user interface. So you will see the first picture at the background. You see there's a few links going down. So that will be the new Pentaho data integration, where all the data flows will be all on the web. You can just click and drag. There's no need to install the thick client. And you can control the data flow, how the data is being flowing, and to see also the monitoring, was there any issues during the flow of it. So total web-based experience, collaborative pipeline build, and pipeline monitoring for the whole data ops. So it's built on the proven successful Pentaho foundation, simple, scalable, also on microservice architecture, and the business semantics taxonomy for the business users. And these flows, you can automate them. So the Lumada Data Ops Suite, globally recognized by leading analysis. So in the industrial IoT platform, we are the leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Bottom left, in the machine learning catalog for the Lumada Data Catalog, we are a strong performer. And in the enterprise data fabric, for putting all the data together, we are also a strong performer in the Forrester Wave. And the data integration tool, in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, you are a niche player. Okay, let's talk about some success stories for these different solutions. Okay, first is CERN. CERN is a Center Europe Research for Nuclear. So if you go to near Paris, sorry, not Paris, near Switzerland there's this 2 kilometer big where they do research on it. So they have been using Pentaho for very, very long. So the challenge is there are many researchers, everyone have their own platform. So it's very difficult to share the results that they found. So they needed a compliant, secure business analytics and reporting platform, data warehouse, to provide a 360-degree view of their data. So leveraging on the Pentaho data integration and business analytics, it provides a single stop end-to-end access control for their ETL, analytics, and data warehouse needs. So with Pentaho in place, it enables end-to-end access control, provide 360-degree views of the research data that they need to share among themselves. Second, optimizing resources and costs. Bell Canada is one of the largest telco in Canada, provide mobile, internet, and TV services. So it simplifies access to business critical data and optimize process, improve business decisions. So similarly, using Pentaho, they aggregate 300 GB of data into a single platform for everyone use. Data is available for reporting and analytics in real time. So the benefits results, reporting is now simplified and the data management optimized reduction in cost while having access to the data 24/7. And smarter analytics support with business 360-degree views of service operation. In Philippines also, we have a telco that's also using Pentaho for their reporting and customer 360 view. So we mentioned about Marketo earlier on. So Marketo itself need a cost-effective embedded business analytics to deliver dashboard and reports. One, they can either create a dashboard on their own. Instead, they can leverage on Pentaho, embed Pentaho into their Marketo portal. So with that, they can easily make their data accessible to their customers. So the solution is flexible, extendable, with the necessary security and user authentication integration. So it can be integrated with the SAML, SML, so for easy access, and you also have the row level access control. So with this, Marketo customers able to have ad hoc reporting, analytics, and dashboard. It also expanded the capabilities of Marketo production solution. Okay, metadata governance and automation. So Fannie Mae in the US is a 100B source of financing for mortgage lender. So for them, they have the data lake, which has a lot of information inside. Every day there is 10 million files and coming in per day. So they need to tag, secure, govern all this data. So Lumada Data Catalog was used, and with this, they are able to process the 10 million files coming in, catalog them, tag them, govern them, ring fence them, and make it searchable. Because this data, as they come in, you want it to be used. So the user interface for them to search the properties that they require for the reports. So now they can self-service data catalog for their business users. They can have custom properties attached to each data set that they want. So the business taxonomy and the technical taxonomy is linked. And the API to automate the process data sheet to add more data tagging in. And millions of files are processed daily, leveraging on the Spark technology that Lumada Data Catalog use to catalog their data at large scale. Okay, Logan Aluminium is the largest single can sheet facility, and they supply more than 2 billion of aluminum for can beverages. So this solution use quite a few. It uses the Pentaho and also the Edge Intelligent. So the challenge to provide employee safety and optimize the line machineries. So the solution is to provide the skills, technologies to support the various initiatives and to unlock the new data insight. So with the Lumada data integration and Edge Intelligence to bring the data in, combining data from their existing SAP ERP systems, then doing the data science, after that, providing the analytics so as to unlock the potential for greater efficiency, safety on their production line at real time. Okay, I think this one, everyone will be familiar with it. This is the data solution for for Disneyland. So for Disneyland, currently, if you now go the rides there using Lumada Edge Intelligence. Okay, so what it does, it is using it to provide better experience to the customer. So example will be like the door closing. They'll be monitoring the door closing of the ride very closely, so that if there is some symptoms or sign of the door closing starting to slow down, they'll do preemptive maintenance so that to reduce the downtime for the rides, because customer experience is number one for Disney. So with the Lumada Edge Intelligence in place, they increase the operational efficiency and reduce the operation costs. And they reduce the unplanned attraction downtime with predictive and prescriptive insight, shrinking the maintenance window and improving availability in order to enhance the guest experience. So with the successful deployment, they are rolling this predictive and prescriptive insights to the rest of their parks, so that they can ensure all the rides the uptime is there, providing a positive experience for the customer. Okay, so Lumada Data Ops for analytics, governance, and agility is to provide the right data at the right place, at the right time, to the right person at the lower cost. Yeah, I come to the end of my slide. I think we are still early. If there's any questions.